Today's video is brought to you by the iPhone 16e, and this video is about the Pixel 9a. So, I want to talk about using this phone over a month now. There's a lot that has gone into me using this daily. I'm using it on Mint Mobile, and I've also used it on Visible as well. It works very well. It works well on every network that I've put it on. So this device definitely has some strong suits, and it has some areas that could possibly need to be improved on. But overall, this is a solid device. There's one key area that I think kind of shoots itself in the foot with, and I'll just jump right in there. That is going to be the price. The price of this phone is a little higher than what I think it should be, considering it's too close to. Now, I was a person that initially said some things about the price, but in reality, it is a well-balanced device, but the price is a little higher than I think it should be. I think the 256 gig should have been the 499 price. But these companies, they're not trying to be competitive anymore. Everybody just wants to make the most money out of the situation. And I get it. I get it. But this is a solid product. It's just the price is a little higher than I think it should be. And Jay, how do you come to that conclusion? Well, I have a 9 Pro, and I bought the 9 and the 9 Pro XL. And so when you start to get past a certain point, like this is $600 for a 256 gig, you're pushing the limits. You're pushing the limits a little bit, and we really got to rethink this pricing structure. But these companies are not here again for us. They're here for themselves. And so price, now that I'm using it for a little bit, and then just consider this. I paid $899 for this device and $600 for this device. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does not. And then you have other OnePlus devices that definitely outshine this device when it comes to cameras and even software in some areas. So, especially battery. But that aside, this device is a strong smartphone and it is one of the best in Google's lineup. I could appreciate it. Um, Hardware. Let's take a look at hardware. The hardware on this thing, absolutely great. It is what you would want probably in a smartphone. It's got the brushed aluminum looking sides. It's got a plastic back, but so what? It's feels really good in the hand. It's got a little bit of weight to it too, so that's a positive thing. That's a strong thing to have some weight to your device, but not too much weight because once you start to add on cases and things like that, it could get really bulky in your pocket, and depending on what you're wearing, you're going to feel it. And a lot of times I don't want to feel a heavy smartphone in my pocket. That is not the end goal here, is to feel a heavy smartphone in my pocket. That is just not it. Now, price aside, hardware aside, again, beautiful hardware, love the colors that are available. The hardware is just good in its own. Some people say things about the bezels around here. I personally don't have an issue with the bezels. They are just bezels. It's really uniformed and it looks really good. I think it looks great. I don't have a problem with this. Yeah, it's fine. So price, hardware, price, not so much, but hardware, thumbs up. Screen, absolutely beautiful. When you're looking at smartphones today, everyone should be getting it right in the screen department because most phones are really big, but I think having a 6.3-inch display, I think 6 to 6.3 is the highest I'd want to go on a smartphone for personal use. But if the smartphone is thin enough or it's just lightweight or it's just some area to compensate for some of the things that I might not like, it really wouldn't matter. A thin phone with a bigger display, that's cool. But a thin phone with a smaller display, that's perfection. So if this phone coming in at 6.3 inches, if you think it's too big, then you might want to step down to a 5 plus type of phone. But I think 6.3 inches on the screen is good. And then the screen itself is beautiful. It is a beautiful display, hands down. I think like I said, everybody should be getting this right by now because you can share technology and you can use Samsung's products. You can use Sony's you can use whoever, because that's what they do. They all share and sell to each other and license to each other. So all smartphones should be able to strike a deal for a beautiful screen. It just should be that way. And at this price point, 500 to 600 bucks, it better have a really good display. Now, is it the best display? Well, if you think it is, great. But as someone who has other smartphones that I think produce the colors and footage better, still. But it is a solid display. No complaints there. Now, another area that I want to talk about is battery life. Battery life is important. It should be at the top of your list when it comes to what you want in your day-to-day tasks for a smartphone. If you don't have good battery life, what's the purpose of having a beautiful display, sexy hardware, and all this other stuff? There's no point in it. There's no point in having these things if you're going to fail in the battery department. We have to be able to push out solid battery life throughout the day. Now, most phones today, I will say, they can make it through a full work week or work day for someone. But by the end of the day, you'll want to just put it on the charger or whatever. Now, some phones can make it multiple days. This is a phone that can make it multiple days. Now, if you want to put it on the charger, you could, just so you can top out at 100% every day. You could do that. But I think you'll be able to go at least 2 days with this phone easy with no problems. You should be able to knock out 2 days quickly. I mean, like not quickly, but with ease, I should say. You should be able to knock out 2 days with ease, no problem. So I don't need to harp on the battery too much. It's a ginormous battery inside. I think this is the biggest battery in any Pixel, and it should be doing well considering the screen technology and the battery and the way everything is put together with the processor. So it should be doing pretty well. Now, processor, software. The processor is fine. It's fine, but I think Google needs some kind of pro model or just some kind of not model phone itself processor. They need something that's going to take them over the top because I think a lot of times people look at Pixels now and say, oh, they need to get a Snapdragon. They need to put a Snapdragon in there because of phones like what Apple's pushing out and what Snapdragon is doing. They just kind of, they're better at performing certain tasks, I should say. Um, some people say their phones overheat. I have not experienced overheating with this phone at all. That is just not a thing. So if you've experienced overheating, check a rogue app or something. Typically, if I have some kind of heating, it's going to be because I'm using the camera for a very long time. I mean, like 45 minutes to an hour or more. Then I might get some kind of warmth or heat to the phone, but I haven't had it shut off on me yet on long recordings. And so, but I think when people hear the Google Pixel, they start to relate certain things to it, like the LG Loop, boot loop. Remember that? But all phones are not overheating. And I just want to say it's probably something that you're using or an application that's going rogue on your phone that's really pulling your resources. But for me, it's always the camera. That is when the phone gets the most warm for me. And I just don't have any issues with it outside of that. But software wise, it's solid. And the processor feels even stronger in this phone because it's not a powerhouse quad HD display and all this other stuff. It's just not. So the phone itself, magnificent when it comes to performance, software, everything like that. So a month in with this phone, and how can you dislike it? I mean, I can complain about the price or whatever. Well, I think it should be priced lower. But in the end, this is a great phone. This is a great phone. Even if I can't take the battery out, I had to. It's still a great phone. It is a phenomenal phone, and I highly recommend it to people. It's just that you need to try to get it on a deal. Try to get it on some kind of free with carrier or get it through Google Fi. I have a link to the Google Fi in the description. I don't get paid off of Google Fi anymore because I'm capped out, but you can still get a discount using my code down there and get money off your bill, and then you can get the phone at a much lower price. Google Fi tends to have the best pricing and deals when it comes to, pardon me, when it comes to certain Google phones. They're great. But in the end, a month with this phone, it's been great. I don't have any complaints about it. Like I said, I can complain about the price, but that's just what it is. So if you have this phone, I highly recommend. I would hope that you got it on a good deal, some kind of special deal with the pricing, because that seems to be the only area of concern with me at this point. Other than that, I highly recommend this phone, hands down. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.